Let's start with a story you rarely hear in tech. While social media is filled with first day at Google photos and celebratory posts, no one talks about the months of struggle and rejection that often come before the big win. I failed 23 consecutive interviews over 14 months before finally landing a software engineering offer. These weren't just first rounds. These were full, multi-stage interviews, some going all the way to the final loop. One company even called me back for a third attempt, only to reject me with the same feedback. That was my lowest point, but it's also where my real learning began. Rejection emails became a regular part of my life. I remember one from a small Seattle startup with just 12 employees. They told me I wasn't a cultural fit. It stung, but it also made me realize how little people share about the hard parts of job hunting. Everyone posts about their success, but no one shares the rejection letters or the moments of self-doubt. That's why I'm here to tell you exactly what went wrong for me. Every embarrassing, cringeworthy, and preventable mistake I made along the way. My first big mistake was focusing on the wrong things. I spent a month reading just 40 pages of a popular coding interview book and thought I was ready. I applied to Google, Meta, Amazon, Netflix, and Stripe all in the same week. Predictably, I couldn't solve even a medium difficulty coding problem in a live interview. My hands shook, I forgot basic concepts, and I mixed up data structures in front of senior engineers. The gap between understanding algorithms and writing clean code under pressure is massive. No one told me that practicing under real interview conditions was just as important as knowing the material. In those early interviews, I realized that knowing an algorithm isn't enough. When you're under pressure with someone silently watching you, everything changes. I confused a stack with a queue and blanked on what a hash map was. The silence in the room made it worse. It's not just about what you know, but how you perform when the stakes are high. This was a rookie mistake, but nobody online was talking about how to practice for the pressure, only what to study. I thought behavioral interviews would be easy. Coding is tough, but talking about yourself. How hard could it be? Turns out, very hard if you don't prepare. When asked about a time I disagreed with a technical decision, I gave a generic answer about trusting the team. I repeated this mistake in several interviews, giving vague, conflict-averse responses that revealed nothing about my judgment or decision-making. Companies aren't hearing for pleasantness. They want to see real examples, specific situations, and evidence of your thought process. After my ninth failure, a recruiter finally gave me honest feedback. They told me my behavioral answers had no substance. That was a turning point. I realized I needed to provide detailed stories, real numbers, and clear examples of my decision-making. This feedback changed the entire trajectory of my job search. It was the wake-up call I needed to start preparing differently. Here, something I learned the hard way. Solving coding problems alone at home is nothing like doing it in an interview. I could breeze through leak code problems in my pajamas, but as soon as someone watched me, my mind went blank. I even forgot basic syntax. This is performance anxiety, and it's completely normal. The fix isn't more solo study. It's practicing coding while someone watches you, simulating the real interview environment. After failing 13 interviews, I realized I needed to practice with an audience. Mock interviews became my new routine. Practicing with someone watching, even if it was just a friend, helped me get comfortable with the discomfort. It's a completely different skill to code while explaining your thought process out loud. This shift in practice made a huge difference in my confidence and performance. One of my more embarrassing moments happened during a Zoom interview. I forgot to check my background, and the interviewer could see a whiteboard behind me with the words, "I hate system design," written in large letters. Needless to say, I didn't get that offer. It's a small detail, but it taught me to always check my surroundings before an interview. Sometimes, it's the little things that trip you up. System design interviews were a whole new world for me. In college, you learn algorithms and data structures, but not how to design large, real-world systems. I walked into 4 system design interviews thinking I could wing it with basic knowledge. When asked to design a notification system for millions of users, I drew a simple diagram and expected approval. The interviewers, patient stares, told me I was missing the mark completely. System design isn't just about drawing boxes and arrows. It's about making architectural decisions, balancing trade-offs, and thinking through real-world scenarios. I realized I needed a framework for approaching these problems, not just a basic understanding of databases. This was a skill I had to learn from scratch, and it took several failures before I started to get it right. Another subtle mistake was treating every interview like a test. I was focused on performing, answering quickly, and trying to impress. I rushed through problems, afraid of silence, and treated interviewers like professors waiting to catch me out. But interviews aren't exams, they're conversations. The goal is to show how you think, communicate, and collaborate under pressure. Once I started treating interviews as conversations, everything changed. Interviewers are looking for teammates, not just technical experts. They want to see if you communicate clearly, ask good questions, and think out loud in a way that's helpful. When I shifted my approach, my pass rate improved dramatically. I went from failing every round to passing 3 in a row. My 23rd interview was the one that broke me. I really wanted that job and felt more prepared than ever. I had practiced behavioral stories, done mock interviews, and memorized system design frameworks. But in the coding round, I chose the wrong algorithm, realized it too late, and ran out of time. I submitted an incomplete solution and left the interview feeling crushed. After that interview, I cried on the subway home. A stranger noticed and handed me a granola bar, telling me things would get better. It was a small gesture, but it meant a lot. I went home, kept applying, kept practicing, and adjusted my approach one more time. 3 months later, I reapplied to the same company, solved the problem with a better approach, and finally got the offer. One of the biggest changes I made was practicing coding out loud, even when I was alone. Coding silently is a different skill from coding while explaining your reasoning. By training myself to talk through my thought process, I became more comfortable and confident in interviews. This small change made a big difference in my performance. For behavioral interviews, I built a story bank. I documented 8 past projects with specific metrics, conflicts, and decisions I made personally. Instead of saying we built X, I focused on what I did, what I owned, and the results I achieved. This approach gave my answers substance and made them much more compelling to interviewers. I also started practicing with real FAANG-style questions, organized by company and role. Instead of random leak code problems, I focused on questions that had actually been asked in recent interviews. This targeted practice helped me prepare for the specific challenges I would face and made my preparation much more effective. Looking back, I realized the problem was never intelligence. It was always about specific, preventable mistakes, studying the wrong things, practicing alone, giving vague answers, or walking into system design rounds without a framework. These are all skills, and every single one is learnable. Once I got specific about what was going wrong, I started to succeed. If you're struggling with interviews, you're not alone. It's easy to believe you're not smart enough or that you don't belong, especially after multiple failures. But the truth is, most people face these challenges. The key is to identify the specific skills you need to improve and work on them deliberately. Persistence and targeted practice make all the difference. Every failure is an opportunity to learn. Instead of seeing rejection as a sign to quit, use it as feedback. Analyze what went wrong, adjust your approach, and try again. This mindset shift helped me turn repeated failures into eventual success. Remember, every skill you need for interviews can be learned and improved. Honest feedback is invaluable. Whether it comes from recruiters, interviewers, or peers, use it to guide your preparation. Don't take it personally, see it as a tool for growth. The feedback I received after my 9th interview changed everything for me. Seek out constructive criticism and use it to get better. Simulating real interview conditions is crucial. Practice coding while someone watches, or even record yourself. The goal is to get comfortable with the discomfort. The more you practice under pressure, the more natural it will feel during the actual interview. This was a game changer for me. Behavioral interviews are about storytelling. Prepare stories that highlight your skills, decisions, and impact. Use specific examples, metrics, and outcomes. This approach not only makes your answers more compelling, but also helps interviewers see your value clearly. Storytelling is a skill you can develop with practice. For system design interviews, having a framework is essential. Don't just rely on basic knowledge. Learn how to approach complex problems, balance trade-offs, and communicate your reasoning. Practice designing systems for real-world scenarios and get feedback on your approach. This preparation will set you apart. During interviews, don't be afraid to ask clarifying questions. It shows you're thoughtful and thorough. Interviewers appreciate candidates who take the time to understand the problem fully before jumping into a solution. This approach demonstrates strong communication and problem-solving skills. Interviewers want to hear your thought process. Don't keep your reasoning to yourself. Explain your approach, decisions, and any trade-offs you're considering. Thinking out loud helps interviewers follow your logic and gives them insight into how you solve problems. It's a valuable skill to practice. Silence during interviews can feel uncomfortable, but it's not a bad thing. Take your time to think through problems and don't rush your answers. Interviewers are looking for thoughtful, well-reasoned solutions, not just speed. Embrace the silence and use it to your advantage. Mistakes are inevitable, but how you handle them matters. If you realize you've made a mistake during an interview, acknowledge it, explain your thought process, and show how you would correct it. This demonstrates humility, adaptability, and a growth mindset, all qualities interviewers value. Persistence is key in the job search process. It's easy to get discouraged after multiple rejections, but every failure brings you closer to success. Keep applying, keep practicing, and keep learning from each experience. Your breakthrough could be just around the corner. Don't go through the interview process alone. Find a community of peers, mentors, or friends who can support you, give feedback, and help you practice. Sharing your experiences and learning from others can make the journey less isolating and more productive. Take advantage of online platforms that offer mock interviews, real company questions, and interview preparation materials. Practicing with up-to-date resources tailored to your target roles can give you a significant edge. Don't just rely on random practice. Be strategic in your preparation. Keep track of your interviews, feedback, and areas for improvement. Documenting your journey helps you identify patterns, measure growth, and stay motivated. Over time, you'll see how much you've learned and how far you've come. Don't wait for the final offer to celebrate. Acknowledge your progress along the way, whether it's a better answer, a more confident performance, or positive feedback from an interviewer. Celebrating small wins keeps you motivated and focused on continuous improvement. It's common to feel like you don't belong, especially after repeated failures. Remember, everyone experiences self-doubt at some point. Focus on your growth, not just the outcome. The skills you're building now will serve you throughout your career. Interviewing is a skill like any other. It can be learned, practiced, and improved. Don't judge your worth by your failures. See them as steps on the path to mastery. With persistence and the right approach, you can get better and achieve your goals. Adopting a growth mindset is crucial. Believe that your abilities can improve with effort and practice. Every interview, whether successful or not, is an opportunity to learn and grow. This mindset will help you stay resilient and motivated, even when things get tough. Take time to reflect after each interview. What went well? What could you improve? Reflection helps you internalize lessons and make meaningful adjustments. Over time, these small changes add up to significant progress. Staying motivated during a long job search is challenging. Set small, achievable goals and reward yourself for reaching them. Surround yourself with supportive people and remind yourself why you started. Persistence and positivity will carry you through the tough times. After 23 failures, I finally got the offer. It wasn't because I got smarter overnight. It was because I got specific about what was going wrong and worked to fix it. Every mistake was a lesson, and every lesson brought me closer to success. If I can do it, so can you. If you're in the middle of your own job search, remember, you're not alone and you're not failing. You're learning. Focus on the skills you can control, seek feedback, and keep improving. The right opportunity is out there, and with persistence, you'll find it. The journey doesn't end with one offer. Keep building your skills, learning from each experience, and striving for growth. The habits you develop during your job search will serve you well throughout your career. Stay curious, stay resilient, and keep moving forward. Don't be afraid to share your journey with others. Your story can inspire and help someone else who's struggling. By being open about your failures and successes, you contribute to a more honest and supportive community. We all benefit when we lift each other up. Every interview, every rejection, and every success is part of your growth. The skills you build now will open doors in the future. Keep learning, keep trying, and remember that your journey is unique and valuable. The best is yet to come. To anyone feeling discouraged by repeated failures, know that you're not alone and you're not defined by your setbacks. Every mistake is a step towards success. Stay persistent, keep learning, and believe in your ability to grow. Your breakthrough is closer than you think.